Organizations today are focused on delivering the best product and services to their customers. Achieving the expected result should start from setting the realistic objective. If an organization wants to do business without setting objectives, then they're certainly wasting their effort. You would rarely find an organization that does not set objectives. Success or failure to achieve objective would depends on individual contribution and their efforts. Organizations do this by defining what business is all about, where it is going. Let us decode few of the crucial processes of defining objectives, methods, and challenges. Hi, my name is Shamrao. I am founder and promoter of eOnlineverse, a leading global training solution organization. With over 30 years of industry experience, I had the opportunity to coach and lead several cross-functional and cross-geography leaders for companies across the globe. I have spoken in more than 500 seminars with over 2 million listeners across 25 countries. It is an immense pleasure to be with you to share my knowledge and experience. No business is too small to have a sense of purpose. Defining the organization objective is about looking forward to where the organization wants to be. It should identify the underlying objectives of the business. For example, a travel agency wanting to be leader in the travel industry might have its objective as to give their customer the time of their lives. To aspire to be best in the field is not an adequate objective. It leaves too much of room for dreaming or wishful thinking, instead of having a clear statement of intention. Before we move forward, let us recap what we have discussed in session 2 on understanding the current situation of an organization. In that session, we discussed on what is SWOT analysis, understanding SWOT analysis, elements of SWOT analysis, what other various elements for understanding of the current situation of your organization, what question you need to ask yourself before you start assessment, what you will be doing better for assessment process. Moving on current session, as part of the session, I'll share my experience to guide you on how to define the objectives of an organization. The steps involved in defining objectives includes understanding of characteristic objectives, what are the challenges in defining objectives, what question organization need to ask while defining objectives, what you will be doing better for defining objectives, what are the steps in setting objectives, how to set the right objectives, importance of involving others. These sessions will include the real-world example and case studies that would help you to connect, visualize, and reflect. I am sure at the end of the session, you will be able to understand the various characteristics and challenges of defining objectives. It will also be clear to you what question you need to ask for defining objectives. What are the things you would do better for defining objectives for an organization? You would be able to understand what are the steps involving in setting objectives. You would be able to identify and set the right objectives. You would also understand the importance of involving others while defining objectives. To make objectives operational, organization must work out the specific objective necessary for achieving them. To do this, you need to ask the following questions which will ensure that organization heading in the right direction. What business organization in for? Rationale behind it. What are the directions and priorities? What does the organization believe in? That is ethics, principle, and code of conduct. What standard is the organization aiming for? The area of excellence. What return does the organization seek? The expected outcome from the efforts. The answer to this question usually require fair amount of thought, and writing them down, the answers, is the practical starting point for determining actions. Understanding of the characteristics of the objectives. Objectives should have the following characteristics. Challenging. These should be realistic yet challenging for an organization. Attainable. Organization should make sure they set the objective that can be achieved. Specific. Concrete, specific action through which the objectives can be attained. Time limited. Each objective needs to have a deadline. Flexible. In an ever-changing environment, objectives cannot stay the same. Adaptation is required for objectives. What are the challenges defining objectives? Here are the top 5 most common challenges I experienced while defining objectives. First, absence of clear direction. Lack of direction is one of the most common organization problems. This happens when leaders fail to discuss and communicate the direction of strategy to all the members of the organization. Second, difficulty in creating unified team. The problem organization faces is team members' personalities vary because of diversity of backgrounds, opinion, views, and experience. Third, challenges in developing key competencies. In most organizations, we see a lot of hardworking team members who have good intentions. Leaders need to utilize their natural strengths and continuously improve the talents of the team members. In short, leaders should constantly work improving the skills and competencies of the team. 4. Pure communication and feedback. In an organization, there are always two groups. One group avoid confronting, another group relish any opportunity to chew people out. I observed in many organizations where leaders do not believe in open culture and constructive criticism. Team members often tell us that they fear vengeance or retaliation if they open up and talk freely. Fifth, lack of awareness. Since most of the leadership team are busy people, a lot of things miss their attention. For example, leaders fail to recognize teams, celebrate progress, or invest time reviewing the process or practices. What questions you need to ask yourself while defining the objectives? Before defining objectives, you need to think about what question you need to ask for defining objectives. Before getting into definition of the objectives, you should seek the answers the questions like: has the organization decided what business to be in? Have the organization worked out the objectives of the business? Do the organization know what business they are in for? Have the organization identified the principle by which the business will run? Have the organization specified the desired standards of excellence for the business? Have the organization calculated the returns expected? Have the organization asked others for their ideas? Have the organization made sure that everyone concerned believes in the objectives? What you will be doing better for defining objectives. It is also equally important for you to think about what's better would happen for the organization while you're looking for answer to the questions for defining the objectives. You need to believe the organization would be doing better if the organization have the answers to the questions what business they are in. Organization is clear about the rationale which directs their business. Organization needs to spell out the values which underpin all their activities. Organization know what quality of service or product they need to achieve. Organization work out the return they expect from their efforts. Organization consult with everyone concerned when formulating the objectives. Organization write down the objectives. Everyone is committed to the same objectives. What are the steps for defining objectives? Once organization establishes strategies, they can start finalizing the objectives. Timelines for objectives can vary from a month to a year. This duration is dependent on the company's stage, market, and landscape. A startup may have to set a shorter duration ranging from month to a quarter, whereas an established market leader can set the objective over the year. Your plan should be based on SMART objectives. So, what is SMART objective? SMART objective stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. Let us delve further on details of each SMART objectives. First, specific. Create extremely specific objective. The more specific they are, easier for organization to achieve them. For example, a travel agency objective for the sales department is to increase sales by 25% by the year end. This is extremely specific. Second, measurable. Organization objective should be broken down into measurable elements so that concrete results can prove the achievement of objectives. Third, attainable. It is okay to set particular challenging objective, but you should not set them so high that they fail to achieve them. You need to ensure that the objectives are attainable. Fourth, relevant. You should make sure they are relevant and meet all the needs of an organization. They should align with the organization mission and strategy so that collectively they form a bigger picture. Fifth, timely. There should be a deadline to each objective. It need not be very rigid. The organization can keep the realistic and flexible. Maintain a sense of urgency helps you keep track of the progress more effectively. How to define the right objective? Planning takes place at the highest level, and managers are involved in operational planning. The first step in defining objectives, setting the right objective, is critical for an organizational performance. The objective must specify priorities and focus. The objectives must be focused on results, not on activity. Be consistent, be specific, be measurable, be related to time, be attainable. Knowledge about an organization is vital, and it is a starting point in setting objectives. What is the organization all about? What are the organization's strengths? How does the organization work? Where the organization belongs? What is the organizational contribution? What is the role of the organization? What resources the organization have? How does the organization functions? What are the functions of departments? Objective defines a specific result that are to be achieved within a specific time duration. Setting objectives helps the organization to maintain a laser focus on what is happening within the organization. As the organization has a clear and precise set of objectives, they are halfway through. It keeps the team motivated and provides a competitive advantage. Organization employees should have a thorough understanding of what the organization is trying to achieve and what is expected of them to support that direction. Before one can even start thinking about the objectives, it is important that the vision and strategy is well articulated and communicated to all the team members. The vision statement is asking itself what it wants to achieve in a longer run. It may evolve over the years to suit the environment, but more or less the underlying set of beliefs remain consistent. Strategy. Then comes the strategy. It is a set of evolving techniques and methods for achieving its vision. Strategy is an idea about how exactly the team intends to achieve it. It is a key document for understanding the need of the customers, how to deal with the competition, what are the resources that are required, and so on. Strategy is derived from the vision as target. The target term can range from 1 to 5 years depending on the industry vertical and market environment. Importance of involving others. While the vision and strategy should be articulated at the leadership level, the organizational objective must consider inputs from the organization as a whole. Thus, it is advisable to finalize them at an open discussion organization-wide. The organization objective must be communicated to everyone involved. Unless there is a clear and shared commitment of what is to be achieved, the chances of everyone pulling in the same direction are minimal. To find out how the teams are thinking about the future, the organization need to ask these questions. Where do you think we ought to be going? What do you think we should be doing? What the current position and what would you like us to achieve? The answer to these questions are usually quite revealing. The difference in teams' perception may well be substantial. If the organization does not have a united view of the future, success will be more difficult to achieve. Holding discussions with the team will make them aware of their purpose and direction. Plans tend to work better when those involved in implementing them have been consulted. It is important to get a commitment from the team. As a leader of the organization, you need to make the team members believe and motivate them not to deter if any setback happens. Making sure everyone is fully aware of what they are expected to do and enable them to play full part in achieving the objectives. Without this commitment, plans will be more difficult to implement and success will be far away. Let me share a case study wherein a leading travel agency in Switzerland was undergoing a flux in their current business and the leader of the organization was worried about what next. When the leader approached me for a solution, we did undertake a major shake-up of the organization and prepared a detailed strategic plan for this travel agency. We were assigned a task to ensure the travel agency was maintaining excellent customer service and improving sales. I started to look at each individual to see where they need to improve to achieve the objectives set forth. The plan was built on SMART objectives so that focused changes could be implemented to improve the customer service and sales. The objectives set forth will allow us to measure success. The SMART objectives meet the criteria that are needed to be successful. To increase motivation, employees are allowed to participate in objective setting process. Before I end this session, how to define the objective for an organization, let me summarize what I have described in this session. The organization objective acts as a guiding principle when determining overall direction. It also determines the fundamental values which underpin the organization to achieve their specific objectives. It is important to work this out and write them down to get the organization moving. The organization must involve all the team members concerned early on this process. It ensures that they are fully informed about the direction of the business and in turn it allows them to contribute. When the things get tough, it will remind the team members of where they want to be and it brings them back to focus and provides a degree of certainty. Thanks for watching this video. Please share your thoughts and comments. I look forward to meeting you in our fourth session on how to make a detailed plan.
If you like this video, please do not forget to press the like button, hit subscribe and notification button and also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn and Twitter to get the latest updates on our eOnline Verse channel.